All right. Uh, guess what? There was an issue with the push button assembly rack in that it must have not either got clean enough or um, something else was the problem. I traced it once, brought it back up, traced it again, brought it back up again. Noticed that I made an error connecting the 35 cap and the 41 and the 41 cap. I had them crisscrossed. I had to replace that. I had an issue with the push buttons. There was no adjustment whatsoever on any switch. So the problem isn't in the coil and the trimmers, because there's nothing to go bad there other than breaking a wire loose off the coils. So I figured it might be the contacts on the push button rod, what might not have been making good contact, or I didn't get the contacts on the backside of all the push buttons clean enough, and that was pretty much my only, well, not my first thought, but it was the one that I picked, and that's the reason why this thing is gutted again, is because I pulled that push button assembly out and stripped it completely. And by completely, I mean we pulled all the oscillator coils off and the antenna coils off uh, of that assembly so that I could do it. And here is the push button assembly, completely stripped down. Well, except for that little jumper there on the board. I didn't need to replace that, but I replaced all the other ones that had insulation on them. There was like 3 or 4 of them there. So so now we got those taken care of. Those sliders, I hope that's focusing all right, are super clean now, because the last time that I said I cleaned it, what I did was I just spritzed a mix of simple green and water onto the board, and used a small a brush to brush it, and consequently all the connections were on here too. So I didn't want to cause an issue with any of the current connections still left on the board. And you've seen how that board was. Now look at that sucker. Yeah, that is clean as a fresh baby's behind. Not a 2 or 3 day old baby. A new baby, first day. So now it's going to be going through my additional sketching to get all these interconnects and all the connections off the board back to the chassis. A dang sack of snakes. and hopefully that will correct any of the heartbreak that we're suffering from right now. So I got that, and then I got the coil assemblies, these right here. So for the next day, we will be doing that. Half the day is already gone today. Me and Doggy got out there early this morning, like about 6 o'clock, 5:30, so I could get back here. And I've spent since about 7:30 on this, getting this out of the chassis again and getting it stripped down and documented. So if anybody needs an interconnect for your radio, it's a 355. I'll be glad to mail you this. So stay tuned, there are going to be more. Okay, now we've got the we have the push button assembly cleaned up, and we got the coil rack put back on it, mounted back to it, and all the coils are reconnected back to the push button board. All the interconnecting jumpers are put back in, and a couple of the other components are on there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to double check the chassis and clean up any of the inconsistencies in it, if any. Which with me, I'm pretty sure there is at least one, with a possibility of more. So the next segment, we're going to show the board push button assembly back in and connected to the back in the chassis and interconnected into the circuitry. So stay tuned for that. All right, one other thing I wanted to touch base with you on, give you an update, is the cabinet condition. We've got it. We got the preliminary sanding done on it, down to the fine grit sand. Took the face panel out of the cabinet and wanted to do this separately. Fortunately, they didn't glue this up real good, and with the screws in it, just removing the screws, and this came right out with a little coaxing. We've got it ready for some pre-stain. The interior is been refinished already. It's ready for stickers. I got the stickers ready for it. The bottom is redone also. Just went to town on this one. She's got a little cosmetic pimple there, if you will. I'm going to dress that with some filler and stuff to match, hopefully match. And then we're going to get it ready for pre-stain. But first I am going to concentrate mostly on getting that push button assembly back in. So stay tuned, we'll give you more updates.